can always rely on them doing great work,
Absolutely,
aren't they?
they're brilliant, the RNLI. Now then, not satisfied with being voted the greatest guitarist of all time, Sir Brian May has also been lending his photography skills to NASA as they prepare to learn more about an asteroid that's heading for Earth. And here to tell us more is the man himself, Sir Brian May! How are you?
Good, Alex. Thank you very much.
Always nice to see you.
Great to have you.
Right, I feel like we need to start at the beginning. There'll be mild panic out there now.
Well,
there's an asteroid, isn't there, called Bennu?
It's called Bennu. It's not actually heading towards us at this minute, no, but it's in an orbit which is very similar to the Earth's orbit.
OK.
And the two orbits intersect at certain points, so there's a possibility of a collision, right? And the next time it comes really close is 2135, which is not that far away, and it will come between us and the Moon, which is really damn close, if you think. This thing is about 0.5 kilometre across. But no danger. We pretty much know that that's going to happen. The thing is, what happens then is we don't know for sure how the orbit's been affected by that. So come the year 2182, it's another close encounter, and we don't know for sure if it will hit us or not. It's a low probability, like 0.05%, but that's not a zero possibility.
Yeah.
Luckily, we have time to think about it and to take precautions if we need to.
Because, as you say, it's not that far away.
Not that far away. No, you think of it as thousands of years away, but no, it's our children's children. We'll have to deal with this, possibly, yeah.
One of the things that people may not know about you, Brian, is that you've got a huge passion for 3D photography, and it was actually that that helped NASA land a spacecraft on the asteroid. Just, like, how did these photos help?
Yeah, I feel very privileged because it's like a boyhood dream, you know, if you can be part of a NASA mission to an asteroid like this, which you can see in 3D. If you're able to free view, you can see that in 3D right now. Well, the data comes back from all these missions. They're unmanned missions, but they have wonderful camera equipment, and it comes back in mono because they're not equipped. They don't have stereo cameras on board. But me and my collaborator Claudia Mansoni we go through all these archives, finding two pictures which will work together as a stereo pair. You need two viewpoints. Like when I'm looking at you now, I see you in 3D because I can see with this eye from that direction, with this eye from that direction. Our brains put these two different views of the universe together every second of our lives to make this wonderful 3D image that we have around us. And if you go like that, everything looks very flat.
I have to try it now. yeah, right.
So, so what happened was we, just off the cuff, did some stereo images of Dante Loretta's image. Dante Loretta is the boss of the OSIRIS-REx mission, which visited Bennu. It was a 7-year mission. So we sent him some 3D pictures of his own asteroid, and he was amazed, and he said, this is going to change my whole perspective. This gives me, like, literally another dimension. And he said, our team is actually in a bit of a flurry at the moment because this asteroid is not what we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be solid, and we could land our spacecraft on it, take a sample, and take off. Turns out it's not solid. It's what's called a rubble pile. Right. It's like a ball pit, so if you land on it, you're probably going to sink into it. And he said, you know, you have to find a place which is level. We don't want to lose the space rocket. We don't want it to sink in either. So he said that what we were giving in terms of 3D images was making it much more easy for them to make a decision. So it kind of got serious because he said, look, I need to see these things in stereo the way I see this stuff that you're sending me. Wow. So he gave us a load of coordinates, so I think 50 different sites, and said, can you give us 3D images of all these sites? Now, that's a big job.
It's a lot of work,
But I was kind of ready, and it's a passion, you know, so we kept sending him these things, and gradually they whittled down the possible landing sites, which are all in the bottom of little craters. They're not craters like on the Moon, they're little depressions, as you can see if you look at the object. Eventually, we chose a site together, and I said to Dante at one point, does this mean it's my fault if it goes wrong? It isn't, you know. I helped to choose the site. I wasn't the only factor, but we contributed 3D, and from this moment on, he's a convert. He loves 3D, and everything he does is going to be 3D.
It's incredible, the work you've done. You downplay it, but it's massive,
no,
Brian. You're saving us all.
He is, and all those photos are in... All those photos are in your new book as well, Brian.
It's all in the book.
3D. But I have to say, over the years, you've taken pictures a little bit closer to home as well, haven't you? Of your own life with Queen, and they're currently on display at the Proud Galleries in London, the exhibition there, sorry.
Yes.
Talk us through why you love this one so much.
This particular one?
Yeah.
This particular one?
Sorry, this
Yeah,
one.
no, yeah, this one.
This, oh, you know, I guess I love it because it's intimate, and you know, if you had a photographer there, Freddie would be self-conscious and he would be posing or whatever, like he was so good at doing. But this, you know, we're in a limo. We're excited to be in New York in a limo. We're kids, really, and we're kind of enjoying the scenery, enjoying a drink as we get driven around in a limo, which was a big deal in those
Yeah.
days. You know, he's not conscious that I'm taking pictures the whole time,
Yeah, that's brilliant.
and so you see him so relaxed, and that's the Freddie I remember. You know, he was always relaxed and fun. You know, on stage, very much not relaxed. You know, very much giving everything, and making that connection. He's a wonderful guy. He really was.
Yeah.
So I treasure these pictures. 3D. I mean, it looks nice in mono like here, but if you see it in 3D in the book, you know, it's another book, Queen in 3D. You'll go, oh wow, I didn't realise this could be done, because it's like you could touch him, it's like you could talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I love. That's why I'm an evangelist for 3D, I suppose. I just think everybody should enjoy this stuff.
Yeah.
Gosh, Brian May, you've got a lot going on. I mean, you've also re-released an album that your son inspired, haven't you? So tell us about that then.
It's from 1983, and my little boy, as he was in those days, Jimmy, and I used to get up on a Saturday morning and watch Starfleet, which is a Japanese science fiction series where they get up and save the world in their rockets and whatever. And it's a very early Transformer. Their little rockets form together to make this huge Di-X robot which punches out the enemy. You know, it's lovely stuff for kids. It had a theme tune, Starfleet thing, and I thought, oh, I could do something with that. And Jimmy said, oh, Dad, you've got to play that, you know. So came the day I was in LA, taking a holiday from Queen, because we kind of got on each other's nerves at some point. And I made some phone calls. One was to Edward Van Halen, who's really, I think, was the most, well, he was the most exciting up-and-coming guitarist at that point. You know, he's now known as one of the greatest guitarists who ever lived, beyond a doubt. I called him and said, do you want to come down and play some stuff? He went, yeah, I'll come down. And Alan Gratzer from REO Speedwagon, also a very successful group in the US, and a couple of other guys who I love. Phil Chen, who's a lovely bass player, he's gone as well. Ed's gone, he's gone. And Fred Mandel, keyboard player. And we all went in the studio and played this thing.
It's a brilliant album.
Yes.
Brian,
Thank you,
I'm
1983.
I'm sorry
We've
to
got
cut you
so
off.
much
It's
to talk
absolutely
about.
brilliant.
We've
You
just
have-
run out of
We could
time.
talk all
but-
night, we really
Yes.
could. Brian's book, Bennu 3D Anatomy of an Asteroid, is out now, and the re-release of the 1983 album Starfleet Session is out now too. Indeed. Well, thank you to all of our guests, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Good night.